Previously, in episode 5 of my home renovation series, I transformed an entire kitchen in only 9 days. It was a lot more work than I initially thought it was going to be, and there were a lot of learning curves along the way, but I am so happy with how it turned out. Welcome to episode 6 of my home renovation series. I'm getting close towards the end of this makeover, and I have 2 big room reveals to go. But in today's episode, we're going to be going through all of the little things that I've done on this home renovation that aren't a part of one of the major room reveals. When you're completing a home renovation, there's going to be spaces that don't need a huge amount of work done to them, but you still want to do a little bit to them just to bring them up to date and fit in with the style of the rest of the renovation. So in today's video, we're going through 3 spaces. The ensuite, which was previously renovated about 10 years ago, so it didn't need to be ripped out and redone. All I wanted to do is a little bit of work just to match it in with the new master bedroom. Then we have the study. It is actually the 3rd bedroom, but I decided to stage it as a study, and that's why I'm calling it a study. And the last thing is this dining space. So in the home, there is a kitchen, dining, living all in one. The kitchen video you will have seen last week and the stunning transformation that I did DIY on the kitchen. And then today I'm going to show you the lounge room and into the dining room, which is all kind of one open plan living space. So let's dive into this video and check out those 3 rooms before seeing the master bedroom next week and then the laundry to finish off with. Let's take a quick look back at where we first started and what this home looked like when I first got access and got the keys. As soon as you walk in the front door, you walk into the kitchen, dining, living space, and then just off to the right of the entry is the master bedroom and the ensuite. The spaces I'm working on this week are smaller, but they play an integral role in bringing the whole house together. The first project is going to be the ensuite. Here is the ensuite, which is actually not too bad. It was previously renovated about 10 years ago and it has held up reasonably well, but we're still going to do a little bit of work trying to keep as much as possible and just add a little bit of detailing and create a little bit of a fresh feel in this space. The tiles down here are all going to stay. So these white tiles, the feature tiles, that's all going to stay. We're going to clean up the space and then paint the top half of the room. I'm thinking I might paint the top half of the room the same color as the sage green on the wall to blend in. And that's also going to blend in really nice with these feature tiles. We're going to give it a really good deep clean because the shower is really disgusting. I may even need to scrape out all of the grout in the shower and then re-grout that shower space, because once you've got mold and difficulties in the grout, it is really hard to then remove that and make it look nice and fresh and clean. So I'm probably going to remove all of the grout out of the shower. The toilet is disgusting, so it's going to be completely replaced and we're going to have to put a whole new toilet seat on that. And then we're just going to try and style this space to make it look nice, fresh and modern. This is a more slow, detailed version of how the bathroom currently looks. As I'm going to be selling this home, I'm sure you'll probably agree with me that ripping out this entire bathroom and starting from scratch probably wouldn't actually end up giving me much more in the value of the home, and it's not a worthy place to spend my budget. But you don't need a complete overhaul to even completely change the look and feel of a space. So let's dive into this first project of the ensuite makeover. Before I could get started with anything in terms of creating a new design, I needed to give the entire bathroom a really good clean. So I used a degreaser and cleaned down all of the walls, and then used a piece of sandpaper and just went along and gave them a little bit of a scuff sand before wiping them down one last time with the degreaser and some fresh water. It really doesn't matter what you're painting. Even if you're just painting the walls, it's so important to give them a really good clean before you apply the paint to make sure that the paint is going to stick well to the surface. Once it was all prepped, I grabbed out my green paint. To me, using the colour green inside a home is like bringing a little bit of serenity from the outdoors inside. I haven't shared the master bedroom reveal video yet, but this is the exact same colour that I used on my feature wall in the master bedroom that was up against the back of the bed head. When I was thinking about what colour to paint the top half of the ensuite, and I was trying to think about the bedroom and the overall feeling that you were going to get in this master space, I really wanted to create it like a sanctuary so that somebody felt like these two rooms blended together perfectly and that it was their own space to relax and unwind. And maybe you're not a lover of the color green like I am. I tend to incorporate a lot of green into everything I do, whether that's just through the elements of home decor that I bring in or whether it's actually colors within the home. But that's what makes every home unique, in that you bring your own personal style and your own color choices into the design, and you get to create the space that is perfectly suited to you and how you want your home to feel. Because I was just painting the top half of the wall in this room and there really wasn't a large amount of space that I needed to paint, I just cut in up against the top of the tiles and also up against the cornice on the ceiling with my hand and my paintbrush, and then I used the roller to roll everything in between. What we're going to be doing here in the ensuite has been completed. I have painted all of the top half of the walls the green, the same color as the master bedroom feature wall. We've added in a new arch cabinet here with a little bit of storage in there because it is quite a small space and any storage that you can have is great storage. We've just put a cabinet here that's just going to be attached and fixed to the wall, so that's going to stay with the house. I do still need to cut out and regrout the shower, so that's one job that I haven't done yet, but most of what we're going to be doing here in this ensuite has now been completed. So this is how it's currently looking. I just need to add a few styling elements and then this room is all done. Here we are in the master ensuite. Now, I didn't do a lot of work in this space because it had previously been renovated less than 10 years ago and I didn't think it was worthwhile spending my budget or using my time in this space. All I wanted to do was update it a little bit. So what I did is I used the same green that I used on the feature wall at the back of the bed head, and I painted the top half of the room in this green called Garden Rooftop. I really like how it then makes the spaces really connected. I also ripped out the old mirror and added in a mirror cabinet to add a little bit more storage in there because it is quite a small space. So you've got some hidden storage in behind that mirror above the vanity. I also cut out all of the old grout and then replaced that with new grout in the shower to give the shower a fresh, modern feel. That's literally all we did in this space, updating it and bringing it in line with the same as the rest of the renovation, but I hope you like how it turned out. Here we are in the third bedroom. Now, the third bedroom is officially a bedroom, but it could also be used as a study. So what we're going to do for the purposes of staging this house for sale is make this room into a study. So what I'm going to do in here is I'm going to be painting all of the trim in the high gloss white, paint all of the room and create a beautiful feature wall on this wall here, which would typically be the wall behind the bed and where we would like to put a feature, but that it will also work for an office space. I started out by painting all of the walls in this cream color called Antique Ivory. I'd previously been through the entire house and painted on the primer and then the 3 coats of the white gloss paint to all of the trim and the window frames. So now it was just a matter of taking my paintbrush and cutting in along the skirting boards and also along the cornices and around the window frames, and then using the roller to paint all of the larger sections on the wall. I had also previously painted all of the wardrobe doors white. That was done in episode 1, and if you didn't see that and you want to see how I painted the doors white, you can go back and check out episode 1. But just having these white doors really helps to brighten up the space and remove that timber, which was really dating the home. Now it was time to install the wood panels to create my feature wall. I had to measure the height of the wall and then cut these wood look acoustic panels down to size using a circular saw. I then also had to use the multi-tool to cut around the PowerPoint so that I could then slip these panels onto the wall without having to remove the PowerPoint from the wall. It depends on the house that you're working on and the height of the ceilings that you have as to whether you need to cut these panels down to size. The standard height of them when you purchase them is 2.7, but in most houses you will need to cut some of this off. These panels are so easy to install and you can literally have the entire wall done in a couple of hours. Once you've got them cut down to size, all you're going to do is take some screws and then apply the screws onto the plaster wall through the back of the felt padding on the back of the timber panels. If you want to see a more in-depth tutorial about exactly how to install these wooden panels, I have a separate video on my channel that you can go and check out.
All of the painting in bedroom 3 has now been completed, and so has our stunning feature wall. You'll be able to see behind me this beautiful timber slat feature wall, which are acoustic panels, which is going to create a beautiful atmosphere in this space, which we're going to be staging as a study. All I need to do now is give these windows a really deep clean. The flooring needs to go in, and then we need to stage the room.
Here we are, the end result of this study, or the third bedroom. I made it a study because it's easier for me to stage as a study, and it was just going to be easier in terms of getting the furniture, but it would definitely work as a bedroom as well, and it will most likely be used as the third bedroom in this home. This wood panel slat wall that I've got behind me would be the backdrop of the bed, and it's going to create a stunning feature no matter what you use this room as. So let's dive into the next bit. So this is the living and dining space. We've got the living area here, followed by the dining room over here. I want to try and blend the two spaces together. We're going to be removing all of the carpet here in the living room and also this lino floor that runs through the kitchen, down the hallway and into the laundry. The lino is going to be replaced with a vinyl timber look floor, and the carpet is all going to be replaced with new carpet. Now, this wall here that runs between the lounge room and the dining space, I'm going to create a beautiful, stunning feature wall that blends these two rooms in seamlessly, because that's going to create a nice cohesion between the rooms, but also create a stunning feature that's going to draw the eye in when you walk through the front door. This is what the wall looked like before all of the trim was painted. And then this is what it looked like after the trim had all been painted white. And now let's dive into painting all of the walls. I went through and cleaned all of the walls down and then grabbed out my paintbrush and roller and once again started working through painting all of the trim up against the cornice and the skirting and around all the window frames, and then grabbed out the roller and rolled everything in between. For most of the walls in the lounge room, I'm using the antique ivory cream color, the same color that I'm using throughout most of the house except for all of the accent walls. But then in this lounge room, I'm going to have two walls that I'm going to paint as a feature. Now, I had a really cool idea that I was going to try and create a suede effect on this wall. In order to do this, I needed to get two different colors of paint and then add some water to water down the paint. Once I had the two colors of paint mixed up, I then grabbed out two microfiber cloths and dipped them in the paint and started to apply the paint onto the wall in a swirling action. I would use the darker color first and swirl that onto the wall, and then I would dab the lighter color over the top and take the second microfiber cloth and then blend that in together. But after doing this for a while, I took a step back and had a look at the wall from a distance and decided that I wasn't really liking the effect that it was creating, and to me it had kind of a bit of a dirty effect. So then I painted on the 2 color samples onto the wall to decide what color I was going to go with, and then decided I was just going to paint this entire wall a solid paint color and forget about the suede effect that I was working on. I do think in the right space, the suede effect could look really cool, but I just wasn't willing to commit to the amount of time it was going to take me to paint it onto the whole wall, and then to still decide at the end of that I wasn't going to like how it turned out, and I thought it was just going to be easier to paint this entire wall a solid color. But I am very interested to know what you think of this effect, and whether you think I should have kept going with the effect, or whether you liked my decision to create a solid color on this wall instead. I applied the first coat of paint onto this whole wall, and then I needed to let it sit for a couple of hours to dry before I could apply the second coat of paint. And I know somebody is going to ask the question, why is there a big chunk of the skirting cut out of the wall? And that is because I'm installing an electric look fireplace here. They are so amazing. They are all built and ready to go. All you need to do is put them into place, attach them to the wall, and then plug it into the power point.
So I changed my mind a few times about what I was going to do in this space and what I was going to have as this feature wall.
After deciding the suede effect just wasn't going to suit very many people, I ended up painting it a solid color.
Now, the color that I initially had was a little bit dark, and I thought that's a bit too dark for this space, and I really don't want to close in the space. So what I did is I actually mixed the darker color that I had with the lighter color cream wall paint that I already had, blended them together, and then I came up with this color, which I absolutely love. So I then painted the whole wall in this color, and then I also painted the front entry in this color, and then it just creates that nice unity in that space. And I'm really loving how it feels with that deep gray undertones. It just gives a little bit more elements to the room rather than just having all of the walls cream, but it's not a really bright in your face feature.
Now the painting's all been finished, the fireplace has been installed, and we are ready for the new flooring. It's hard to believe how much of a difference just adding the new flooring makes to the space. It really brightens the whole room up and makes it feel so much more like a home. And now I just need to dress this space up. I wanted to add a dramatic statement to this space, and I thought a light fitting above the dining table was going to be the perfect way to do that. I got this beautiful light from Beacon Lighting and then had it installed above the dining table. I then added a custom design artwork by the artist Leah Justice, and I'll link her page down in the description below, and I'll also link all of the other products I've used in this makeover. I staged the dining room with the dining table and chairs, and then a few decorations on top. And before I show you the reveal, let's take a quick look back at where we started. This is the kitchen, dining, living room when I first got access, and now this is how it turned out. I'm sure you'll agree with me, it is an absolutely stunning space. This has to be my favorite part of the home. The kitchen, dining, and living rooms all blend so well together, and they just really are the heart and soul of this home.
I hope you've enjoyed episode 6 of the Home Renovation Series. We've still got 3 episodes to go, and then I have completed this entire makeover. Next week, you're going to get to see the master bedroom, followed by the laundry makeover, and the last video in the series is going to be a movie-length event where I get to show you the entire makeover room by room, and you get to see the whole walkthrough tour at the end of the episode. So make sure you hit subscribe and stick around to see that.
If you're new to my channel, welcome and thanks for being here, but linked on the screen is the last 4 episodes of this home renovation series that you can go and check out, and hopefully they'll inspire you.